Blade. So we got an update on the Blade reboot. You know, the last time we talked about it, which was the last show that we did, I believe, they were sitting up here talking about that the Blade reboot was put on hold, and you know, Bo DeMayo came out and gave his opinions on it with the face palm on his forehead and all that other stuff. And so now, comic book movie is spilling the latest tea, and this came out earlier today, like maybe 3-4 hours before I did the show. And they're saying that Blade is still coming, and they're reworking the script for the millionth time, and that it'll be filming it's supposed to come out in 2025, because it was like what, November something, I forget what day it was. But now they're going to start filming it, allegedly, according to Daniel, Rickman, who is Daniel RPK. He's a tea spiller a lot. He gets the scoops and stuff. Him and Jeff Schneider from the Snyder Report, them are the two that always be battling for who going to spill the most tea on Twitter. So, so it says, according to Comic Book Movie, it said, though the long-awaited MCU reboot won't be arriving in theaters next year, Scooper Daniel Rickman, who I told you is Daniel RPK on the Twitter, believes that it is still on track to commence production in the UK at some point in 2025. He also notes that it will be dark and R-rated and have a smaller budget than all recent Marvel films. Rickman also claims that a new script is currently being worked on. Now, last that we heard, the latest draft by Eric Pearson, who is the 6th writer to have been assigned to the project after Michael Green, Stacey Osei Kuffer, Michael Starbury, Bo DeMayo, and Nick Pizzolatto, had finally satisfied everyone involved. But clearly this isn't the case if they've gone back to the drawing board yet again. Now, as previously reported, the Cosmic Circus's Alex Perez believes the real reason Blade was pushed back again is because Marvel is prioritizing multiversal stories. Just say multiverse. And this is what irritates me about the MCU. Why everything got to be multiverse related? Why can't y'all just kind of you can do your little multiverse thing, but why can't you do separate stuff? Or maybe that's the thing that DC is doing. So let DC stick with that. While you have the multiverse that's going, or not multiverse, when you have the James Gunn, Peter Safran universe, DCU, that they're working on, where they're doing their own separate Batman with the Brave and the Bold and Booster Gold and Superman and Green Lantern and all that other stuff that they got going on. They also have the Batman Part 2 coming with Pattinson, Robert Pattinson, as I like to call him. And then we have The Penguin, which is doing very well on HBO Max. I love that show. Love it. And I told y'all, between that and Agatha All Along, I'm loving The Penguin. That is more or less up my alley. I told you I'm not that gay. I like Bussy, but and I like my campy stuff. Like I love my Kylie Minogue, and but I don't like the two, when y'all be doing the too campy. Like and it starts taking me out of situations. Like Agatha All Along, I'm trying to get into it. It's cute or whatever, but it's just not my cup of tea. I like my dark, twisted, crazy stuff. Like the Joker. I mean, not the Joker. No, I hate the Joker. What am I talking about? Like when I talk about the Penguin, that's what I'm because I was just thinking about the Joker for some reason. But I like the Penguin series. And I also love the Batman. So I'm really looking forward to the Batman 2 when that comes. I think they start filming that next year for 2026, which is annoying. I hate the long waits when it comes to these movies. But what are you gonna do? Sometimes we gotta be a little patient if we want excellence in our movies. So when it comes to the whole Blade situation, I've been a little more patient. I've been damn near 20 years patient waiting for a new Blade movie. Especially since it's been 20 years, I believe it'll be in November or December since the original Blade came out. Oh no, not the original Blade, since Blade Trinity. It'll be 20 years, I believe, in November and December. I'm trying to remember when it came out, but I think it was December of 2004 when it came out. So it's been 20 years since we've had that. And now, Mahershala Ali was announced damn near 5 years ago, and y'all still haven't cracked the code. And I understand y'all trying to do this multiverse thing with Secret Wars and all this other stuff, and they talking about Thanos and all these things. And I don't know what y'all plan on doing with the villain that I heard showed up for like 2 seconds in the new Venom movie. That he barely had a part in it. He was just lurking in the background like Thanos in the earlier films before he showed up in Infinity War and the Endgame. So He basically said, so Alex said the real reason why Blade isn't getting done is because the story is disconnected from the rest of the multiverse saga. Same goes for Armor Wars, Nova, etc. It's not that they're not getting made, they're getting pushed to make room for multiversal stories. But it's like at this point, do the fans even want multiverse type stuff? Because I feel like the fans were disappointed post Endgame. Like when y'all started doing this new stuff, which, well, I love Shang-Chi. I'm still waiting on Shang-Chi too. I'm a little irritated that we're waiting a long time for that one. But I feel like y'all had a plan when it came to the Eternals and all those other stuff. But then when people didn't respond to the Eternals the way they had hoped, I think it got the MCU and Marvel, Disney, whatever the hell you want to call them, spooked and nervous. And then now the initial plans that they had, they're kind of like trying to back off of it a little bit because y'all didn't respond to those things. The Marvels, you didn't respond to a lot of Multiverse of Madness. A lot of y'all didn't respond to that either. I liked the film in certain parts. I loved Wanda's story, but overall, I felt like it was a little too on the nose with the Sam Raimi isms, and it just didn't work for me in regards of being a Doctor Strange movie. I love the first one more than I like the second one. Second one left me a little disappointed. I just felt it was just too many Raimi isms up in there. So in regards to the whole Blade thing, so someone also said, Donovan Martin 5 said, but regardless, this really makes me wonder if perhaps if this gets done, if this gets, wait, oh, they're, I'm trying to read what they wrote. They said, if this doesn't get canned, that Ali will most likely be walking away sooner than we think. I doubt he's going to wait even longer for this. Yeah, because he's not getting any younger. Like he's, what, 51? So don't get me wrong. Like I said, black don't crack. Mahershala Ali looks good. He doesn't, I mean, when people say, well, he looks good for 50, what the hell is 50 supposed to look like? Like, I don't understand. Like, physical appearance does not match age, or age does not have a physical appearance. So, his black don't crack. He still looks good. He still looks like a badass. And like I said, if there's any kind of extreme action sequences that may be too difficult for him to pull off, you throw him in a stunt double. And then I'm sure y'all can like technology has advanced so much since the last Blade movie that you can take screen grabs of an actor's face and you can juxtapose it on the stunt double's face to give the illusion that the actor is doing the stunt. So it's possible, like the way technology is right now, there's ways that you can get around to make it somebody look like they're doing the things that they're not doing. And I think that that's the fans don't really care about all that. I mean, do they? Do fans really care about? Oh well, they did all their action sequences. I just think that Tom Cruise gets caught up in all of that because his ego or whatever the case is. Okay, it's great that you can jump out of a plane. It's awesome that you can jump out of parachute off of a cliff with a motorcycle. Yay, you did the stunt. You survived because Xenu protected you. But at this point, it's just like I just want a good movie. I just wanted to see that you can do the close-up shots of the gun, like you could do the gun training, you could do like some of the action sequences. But I'm not saying you got to come out here and beat Tom Cruise and then hold up production if you break your damn ankle because his ego is too damn big to let somebody else step in and do the stunt. But I'm also kind of glad that they're not doing a big budget. First of all, Blade does not need a big budget. All you need to do is you could shoot it in the UK, as like they said. You can just make it sort of like a John Wick with vampires. You can do the action, the vampires, killing sequences. If you're going to make them turn to dust or whatever kind of effect you're going to use, those type of effects, I'm sure it's not expensive. And as long as we get a lot of vampires that look really cool with the makeup and all the other stuff, I feel like the fans will be okay. We're not going to be that upset about the whole situation. So I really hope that this scoop that Daniel RPK is floating around is actually true, because we want to definitely see a ruthless, badass, rough around the edges Blade back on our screens kicking butt, because you know what, it's been a long time. We haven't seen any really cool vampire stuff come out as of late. Like I told you, my favorite type of vampires are the ones that look like the 30 Days of Night vampires or the vampires from Blade 2. Like those are when the vampires look really cool. And I feel like, you know what, no shade to Robert Pattinson. We still mock you over the whole Twilight saga. But we like our vampires to be scary. We like our vampires to be feared, but they can also be sexy, but we don't want them glowing in the daylight. And to my how they love people. We want them out here sucking blood and doing martial arts, some John Wick type martial arts and gun fu. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story? Whatever your thoughts are on this whole Blade situation, do y'all believe this story that's coming out actually about the whole Blade situation. Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below.